LP. No. Hello there, my name is GREEdS and you're watching All About Good Music TV. Yeah! GREEdS came around, something has followed me from young. Always been termed greedy because I love to eat too much food. Even though it might not show, from time to time I try my best. But then after a while, even though it stuck with me for a long time, when I kind of started writing more in my field, I thought, let me make it something more conscious. I don't want to be just writing something and based on a name, because I know how important name plays, like as an artist. So I thought, let me chop it up a bit, let me see. So I sat down literally, I did sit down for a while, I think about 2 hours or so, just trying to break down and trying to have a meaning to me. So then it broke down to acronyms, generating rhymes to engage the line. So, and now I changed it a bit because it confused people. Like, but where's the D? Where's the D? So then I thought enlightened, E, and then D, they're like, oh, you think you're smart. So now it's capitals and a small d and a capital S, just to make it a bit more simple to people. And again, it kind of works in the opposite, because people will see GREEdS and be thinking, oh, what is he about? Like, they might have negative thoughts straight away in regards to stuff I do. And then they'll hear me and they might have a completely different kind of point of view or perspective now. And I like that. And on that note, I think I'll keep it for a while. I started in this field due to an open mic night that I'd done. And back then I was rapping. So I done open mic and I was rapping, and I noticed that people were kind of vibing with the beat. But I'm like, how much of what I'm saying are you hearing? So I'm coming from. So then I made a decision there and then to stop writing to music. And I'm like, I'll create my own rhythm. I'll create my own. I will create my own rhythm, and I'll highlight issues in the same way in what I want to talk about. And then progressively, people started to brand and say, oh my God, he's a poet, he does this and that. Whereas I've never really actually branded myself as to say I'm doing this or I'm doing that. So people generally just start to say, he's a poet, he does this, he does that. And I really do appreciate everyone's kind of perspective in the way that they view my writing. So now I'll come back and I'm fusing with music a lot more, because I've found my own rhythm. So now I know how to make the music work around me rather than me working around the music, if that makes any sense. So in me reciting with no music, I would say I'm moving more in a poetry kind of field. It's just me. I am the rhythm. I am that voice you're hearing. So I'm coming from. There is nothing else to me. When I'm working with music, if I'm working with the remedies now, I'm veering into stuff like spoken word, because it's me working with music, me working with the drums, with the keys, with guitar, and seeing how many ways and what I can do with that, and how can I chop it up, how can I get your attention still, even though you're nodding your head to the beat, but how am I building myself in terms of what are you hearing me when I'm talking to you. So I'm coming from. So that is how I bridge the gap between the two, and I'm still very strict as to, no, I'm not going to leave one for the other. I'm still balancing both. So I'll still do poetry gigs, and I'll still do gigs that involves me doing stuff with a band or with music. I don't want to feel like how people see it as, grime MCs turning pop or whatever. I want to start off and still keep that balance and still promote it as a whole in terms of both of them. So, yeah.
Please. Pardon me, but may I, with your permission, start from scratch? Observe it like I used to with awe, getting that feeling that I long for. Again. Taking off journeys where I'm moving now, visualize every detail. Pictures with words, I want to start from scratch. You see, I'm ready to share my thoughts and I'm ready to now. I want to make you proud. Lift this to the highest form without saturation, so I need that foundation, that grounding. Ensuring that I don't lose my favorites, I sit out with one illusion of weakness. Back in my morals, top of your hole, leaving you exposed. Pardon me, but may I start from scratch? You know, I'm ready. Ready for the stars, I'm proud to see I'm ready for the whole beat out of the long
I do admire artists that take it out there a little bit. They just take it somewhere else. Like they have the core of their art form, of the talent, but then they do something completely random. And I'm like, yo, yes, I admire you for that, because you're brave for doing that. And there's a lot of artists doing that at the moment. Dinata, for instance, as well. This week was a very kind of high-profile week for him in terms of the piece that he let out visual, and that with that piece getting such a response, whether it's negative as much as people might see it, I see it as a move, as an action, as this is what the kind of art asks for you, to kind of get that person's attention, to say your word, to get your opinions out there, to get your thoughts out there, stuff that's true to you. People that break barriers like that, I really do hold at high regard. Because they're genuinely trying to push things forward, not trying to keep people confined to a certain box. And I only hope that I do the same thing through the work that I do as well. At the moment now, me and GREEdS and the Remedies, big up the Remedies. I met the Remedies I met the Remedies in 2008, right? First gig, and since then the rest has been history. We just making some beautiful music. And the thing is about the Remedies, right, is that I have ideas in my head. So I will sound like a complete nutter, right, in rehearsals. And I'll be like, I've got this melody in my head and I've got this feel and I'm going for duh. And they'll be like, okay. Ask them, I've been trying to sing in rehearsal sometimes, just to try to bring my idea to them, and then they'll make of it. And then we'll just build around it and then just paint that picture for it. And then we'll just take it from there. I can't really say as much, but I have got a release next year. I've got 2 releases next year that I'm aiming for. One of them is going to be really big, and the other one, I can say Samplify. It's not going for. But one of them is going to be really big, one is Samplify. But right now, I'm changing my sound. I'm keeping to the same feel that I do in terms of how I feel when I write, but sound-wise, I'm changing it completely. I'm trying to dive into different kind of feels. And we've been in the All About Good Music event. If you notice, the set was very different. You had one that was very kind of scarish, reggae-ish kind of feel. You had one that was very hip-hop based, and you had one that was very indie based. And you had a smooth kind of one there. This is how I want to work. I want to work within that kind of framework to see what other ways I can tap in, how my writing can affect people, and generally make it a bit more universal, so you don't have one defined genre. I want HMV people to have my CD and be like, where are we going to put it? That's where I'm coming from. What are we going to do with it? I don't want them to throw it in a bin. I want them to put it somewhere. But you see where I'm coming from. I want it to be that different and still engaging, that people are going to be like, you know what? Thumbs up. Good work. I don't want it to be defined as anything. I want people just to enjoy it and enjoy the sound, because whoever said there's rules to the kind of music you make. So
we'll look up to the stars with you together. Wrapped in each other's arms, we'll share stories leading to the sunrise and watch each other fall asleep side by side. You breathe so soft, no sense of bother. I wonder, what you visualize in your dreams, is it colourful? I'm a friend as well as a lover, a protector as well as a provider. Do you visualize how our dreams combine and create beauty? Love is nutrition. So as we grow new strands, we leave behind the dead dreams that cause pain and unhappiness. You are our soul. everyone blessed with his work. Writing song is the fairest component to you is what keeps you whole. The look of your hands, bear in mind the skill and technique. From start to ease attention for my days. Of the love and the aroma of the food that you create. Yes, this is one of many things to show that I am a thankful man, a special man, baby. It's just me, you and us, and plus maybe one day we can share stories and welcome a new one to our life.
That's so wicked. Oh my god. It was my day GREEdS by night. I was just, what is it? Does she have some sign? GREEdS. And I just get into my, like, what's it? I'm doing this whole thing. I haven't even worn it today, but I'm wearing these kind of hats these days, man. I don't even see me, like, this olden kind of whatever hats, but that should be like the alter ego kind of look as well, different. But yeah, anyway, sorry, I was digress. A random minute, oh my gosh. Yes, of course, I would love to kind of make a living off of my art, definitely. But in the process of everybody as a collective getting together to push the art form so that it can get to that stage where you now make a living from it. Great people are showing it, you know what I mean? Right now, up in Manchester now, about to watch anyone do his thing in Untitled. Positive example there to show, you know what, if you believe in something, you can make a living off of the work you're doing. So right now, got my full-time job at the side, and I'm still performing. But in the long run, I don't want to be performing as much no more. I want to broaden that. I want to start creating different things that I know that I can still perform, but I know I can come back as part of my living in terms of my performances and poetry and make a living from it. So yes, it's a hobby. Yes, it's something that I'm getting paid for from time to time, but it's something of a hobby that I wanted to progress into work, into me being full-time in this art. Great people are doing it right now, and I want to be there one day, definitely. I'm quite boring, you know, outside poetry and that. I used to be a raver. I think I like go to one rave, one like kind of main rave, but they hold it like every 6 months or something. Wow, you looking shocked? Is it bad? Oh my god, you see, it's terrible, isn't it? Yeah, I think I've been to like, yeah. I used to always go out partying. I love my music and everything. So, other than performing and work, I will socialize from time to time. I read. Oh my god, I'm sounding real boring. Oh snap! Think of something fun that you do. I do like to relax a lot. I think that's the main thing for me right now is just find time to kind of relax and chill. I do cinema a lot. Like, I've been slacking lately because I haven't watched some films. It's been busy kind of 2 months. Going to gigs would be really cool. Like, and things that are creative things I like to get involved in. And just other ways, again, it sounds really boring, but other ways to kind of work within the work I do and how it can make me work and how I can leave feeling really inspired. I don't think I have enough, I don't think I can give or make time for things that will bore me.
Look at me. Can you not tell that?
On Twitter, I text the most random stuff on Twitter sometimes. So twitter.com, I'm GREEdS, I'mGREEdS.com. I also do blogging for Box Fresh Clothing. So if you go on Box Fresh, go on contributors and go on BF bloggers, you'll find me. I'm there. MySpace.com, GMusic Online. Facebook, GREEdS, VIS. Shout out to the circuit. Everybody, shout out. I would like to specifically kind of shout out the people behind like what it means, because I didn't get it. It was so mad that evening. But shout out definitely to Pinboard Blog, Pinboard Films, Ash Remedy, Bade, Mr. Jason for attending, Mumsy, Reality for attending. It was a really you're big. Yes, it was a really cool night. Wicked. Thank you. Wicked.
Feeling that I long for. Again. Take me on journeys without moving now. Visualize every detail. Paint pictures with words. I want to start from scratch. You see, I'm ready to shed what was and embrace.